Welcome to the P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Abel Sunday. Last night was a painful one for Nigerian football as the Super Eagles crashed out of the FIFA World Cup playoff qualifiers, falling short against the determined DR Congo side on penalties. The result has sent shocking waves throughout the sporting community, raising serious questions about the team's preparation, strategy, and overall direction as we look ahead to future competition. Joining me to break down the key moments, the technical lapses, and what this exit means for Nigerian football moving forward are our trusted analysts from the Center of Excellence Lagos, Walter Odige, and from the ancient city of Benin, Eru John. Grab your teacup because P&B Sports start now. It's P&B Sport reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Let's go straight into the analysis. Guys, I could not sleep last night. You wouldn't believe that. Now I can understand why. In fact, I don't know how Walter Odige is still alive till this time. Because if you suffer this kind of heartbreak week in, week out, I don't think you will live long. For all the nemesis that have been happening to Manchester United since Alex Ferguson stepped out. I'm sorry I'm using Manchester United, you get, but I think that is the most vocal, the most vocal heartbreak so far. So, good morning, gentlemen. Eru, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. Good morning.
What how is Lagos this morning?
Everywhere is blow in Lagos this morning.
What I was using you as a case study because I was saying I don't know how you guys have been surviving since 2013 till now, and you are still alive. Because me, if Super Eagles could do this again next week, I don't think I will survive it. I couldn't sleep last night. But let's go into it directly, Walter. Seeing a game, but I think that game is winnable, to be honest, because after and I've been complaining this ever since. When we take the first lead, we score early. We now took our legs off the pedal, and again we have certain opportunities to score. We are just lackadaisical about the whole thing, and you see that it comes back to hurt us. You nearly got the equalizer. The second half was even a charade because we could not even do anything at all. DR Congo was just coming at us at all time, and it even was deep when Victor Osimhen left. But let me hear your own thoughts before I go back to Eru.
Yeah. Like you said, immediately Osimhen got out injured, I knew there was no chance for Nigeria except on penalties. The truth of the matter is, I discovered something yesterday, something that, I think Nigerians have been getting wrong. Nigerians always say we need a good coach for the crop of talent or the crop of players we have. We really need a good coach who can handle these good players. I discovered yesterday that we don't have good players. You can blame the coach all you like, but the Super Eagles does not have. We don't have as much good players as we think. We the fans and we the journalists of this country as we think we are. Our football is in a rotten state right now, and Bar Osimhen, Frederick, I would say they are outstanding talents. Then Bassi and Lukman. Lukman, obviously, not currently, but I will put him here. He's the reigning African player of the year. Lukman and Bassi, who I would say they are okay, they are good players. I don't think there's any other person in that squad that that is above average. I don't think so. I don't think we have players that are above average. When you have a player like Osimhen in your squad, it does a whole lot. It energizes the team. It makes the team plays better. It gives the team an edge. So immediately such a player leaves the field, the quality, the general quality begins to show. And immediately I saw the second half and I saw that Osimhen was not able to play. I knew there was going to be big trouble. And I'm not surprised, like I said, I'm not surprised at all. Because to be honest with you, we shouldn't be here in the first place. Once you go to the playoffs, it's just that we expected Nigeria to win the same way every country that came for this playoff expected their nation to win. Gabon expected them to win. Cameroon expected their nation to win. Congo expected their nation to win. So we are optimistic, but playoff is a game of anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody. That's what playoff is all about. Playoff is a knockout game, and I'm sure if we play that game 5 times, Nigeria might probably win 2, Congo will win 2, or draw 1, or Nigeria will win 3, Congo will win 2. But once it's just a one-game thing, whereby there's everything to play for, anything can happen. I'm looking for who to blame. I think because of the generality of what is happening to Nigerian football, I'm not going to use this only the Super Eagles case. I'm going to use the generality of what is happening to Nigerian football. I think the blame 100% lies with the NFF, because this year 2025, our under 17 has failed to qualify for the under 17 World Cup. That is a tournament Nigeria dominates. Nigeria, we have the most titles in that tournament. So we failed to qualify for the under 17 World Cup. Our under 20, they were humiliated at the under 20 World Cup. Our Chan Eagles, we know what happened. We know the story. They were embarrassed at the Chan tournament. Then the Remo Stars, who are the defending champions of our league, we saw what Mamelodi Sundowns did to them. They were beating black and blue. So the Super Eagles now has failed to qualify for the FIFA World Cup. That is 5 of our teams, that have done poorly. So if you want to blame Eric Chell, the coach, you are deceiving yourself, because it's not just the Super Eagles. It's an all grade of football, all areas of football in our country. You want to blame the players? Okay, you will still blame under 17 players, you still blame under 20 players, you still blame this thing. You want to blame what you want to blame. It has to go down to the NFF. It has to boil down to the head of Nigerian football, the NFF, which I think they've done terribly bad for Nigerian football. And I think serious shake-up is needed, because this is embarrassing. And what I discovered yesterday that was most painful to me is the fact that Nigeria will not be winning the AFCON. We are not good enough. Bro, you needed to see the way DR Congo outplayed us, as if they were playing, how will I put it? They were playing Seychelles. Nigeria was defending for their life, especially in the extra time. The second half, I didn't know what I was watching. I think Nigeria first chance in the second half, did we even have any chance? It was till extra time. Tulu Arukodare got a chance and he missed it. So it was a poor performance, especially from the second half of the world when Victor Osimhen isn't on the pitch. So I'm not surprised. Like I said, this is what we saw. This is the reason why we did not qualify for the World Cup in the first place, because Osimhen missed the first 4 matches and we did not win 1. So we are back to playing without Osimhen, and I didn't see how the Super Eagles were going to win.
Okay, well said, Walter. Let's go back to you, Eru. Eru, I want to get your thought as well on the game yesterday before I could ask other questions. What do you think went wrong? Because yesterday, I was thinking that, of course, it's DR Congo now. We should be able to. I would prefer playing DR Congo than even Cameroon. But I was saying it's DR Congo now. We should easily just win that game. And the lackadaisical attitude, why would we score 1 and those chances we did not even convert the first half? I don't know why you said it's a good player according to what they call according to what Walter said. But there's some passes that he's holding back to. Pass that ball out. Let this ball flow. There's some passes that you just need to pass and let the whole defense split up for you. But he was holding back. And so I think what generally, how do you assess the Super Eagles yesterday?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. First off, I want to express my disappointment and sadness at the performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria yesterday. They left me with a scar. I was very optimistic. As a matter of fact, on my WhatsApp status, on all my social, I was boasting about how Congo will beg for mercy, how we are going to destroy Congo, but all to no avail. Straight down to it, I agree with so many things that Mr. Walter said. First off, on my assessment of the game, it further proves that we have players that are below average. They are not even average. They are below average. Like Mr. Water rightly said, apart from the likes of Victor Osimhen, Calvin Bassey, these new developments, Benjamin Frederick, I don't think there's any other good player in that team. I'm not even going to add Ademola Lookman right now because he's one of the persons that orchestrated our downfall yesterday. Ademola Lookman is one of them. Alex Iwobi is one of them. I began to wonder what they were playing. But then again, there is a popular saying that in the kingdom of blind men, the man with one eye is king. You now begin to ask yourself, if we take out these players, who are we bringing in? Who are we bringing in? We saw the substitutions yesterday. Nothing worked for the Eagles. And this goes further to prove, there was something I told you the last time we discussed the Super Eagles when they played Gabon. If you remember, I told you that there's something called a striker presence in football. Now, there are some strikers that, in the 2018 World Cup, Olivier Giroud of France did not score a single goal, and he played all the matches from the first group stage match to the final. He did not score a goal. That's a top 9. He didn't score a goal. I think in that entire tournament, he had just 1 assist. I can't vividly remember. But I'm very certain he didn't score. But guess what? He did not miss a single minute of any of the games. There is a singular reason to that. He has a striker presence. There are players that their mere presence alone on the pitch already puts a certain level of fear on the opponent's team. That is what Victor Osimhen offers to the Super Eagles. Like Walter said, we played 4 games in the beginning of these qualifiers without him. We did not win a single one of those games. And now yesterday we went back to playing without him for 45 minutes, and then you saw the outcome. You saw when Akko Adams was introduced. The Congolese defenders immediately advanced because you are not as much threat as Victor Osimhen offers. There is a Victor Osimhen that he can run with the ball, he can shoot from outside, he can do. You saw one of the goals he scored against Gabon in the presence of 4 defenders.
Yes.
That's a striker presence player. And the moment Osimhen left the match, the person I was watching the match with was insulting the coach. I said, Osimhen is injured. He said, how did I know? I said, this coach, except the placed madness on him from his village, will not remove Osimhen if he's not injured for any goddamn reason. He will not. And so after the match, we got to find out that Osimhen got injured, and that's why I was taking off. And I told the guy, I said, I told you that if I accept Osimhen is injured, there's no reason why Osimhen will be removed from this game. How can you remove Osimhen and he's not injured and there's still an Alex Iwobi on the pitch? Who does that? Are you normal? So it goes to show that we have below par players. The likes of Wilfred Ndidi, they've passed their prime. They are not bad players, but they've passed their prime. So going into AFCON, I think we need to scout for new players. The likes of Moses Simon, Alex Iwobi should not be called up to the Super Eagles team again. I don't have personal vendetta against any of them, but these players don't offer. Alex Iwobi does not offer to the Super Eagles as much as he offers to Fulham that he plays for club side. So let them rest. Let them go. If you even want to bring in home-based players that are exceptional, bring them in. Let's know what we are doing. Let's sincerely know what we are doing. So that guy, I blame the outcome of that game on the performance of the players strictly. I won't blame it on the coach. The formation was okay. The tactics was not bad. The players, they were just there. They were just there.
Okay, let me stay with you. Eru. Eru, I've complained on this table. I've complained about Stanley Nwabali, our goalkeeper, and you said something. You said Stanley is also a good keeper, but just that he's so comfortable and nobody to. But yesterday, I think he proved himself. If a goalkeeper can save at least 2, come on, what happened to the players? Why can't you? Because already we are 2 down already, 2-0. But he was able to pull up 2 good saves in that spot kick. What happens to our players to convert the remaining 10?
Okay, yes, Stanley Nwabali, he did well yesterday. Like we said the last time, he's a good goalkeeper. He only has problem with overconfidence. But then, yeah, the shootout, what he did is not a surprise to me. We saw that at AFCON. We saw that against South Africa. We saw that in the semi-final. So what we saw from him was a spectacular one. Now, here my problem lies with that penalty shootout was this. Believe you me, the moment the match got to penalties, I told the person I was watching that we are not going to win. And I said something. I said, one Bali will make at least a save, but our players will miss. If you look at the players that took penalties for us, how many of them, first of all, are penalty takers in their teams?
I was even expecting that. Okay, go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
How many of them have ever kicked a penalty before? You begin to ask yourself these questions. We saw the penalty that Calvin Bassey played. You saw the weak penalty that Moses Simon played.
Yeah.
Me that was watching, I predicted that that's where he will put the ball. Me that is not on the pitch. Now imagine a professional goalkeeper. Me that was watching, I knew that's where he was going to put the ball. And then these things drop even the morale of the goalkeeper. Your goalkeeper is saving penalties.
And you are not scoring.
You are not scoring. But then again, penalty is anybody's game. Penalty is anybody's game. I want to believe strongly that the 5 persons that took those penalties were the best that we had on the pitch to take penalties. I want to believe strongly that they were the 5 best penalty takers on the pitch, because if not, I don't think there's any reason why some of them should have taken a penalty at all.
Okay, let me go back to you, Walter. Walter, let me come to you now. We will have a Trust Ekong that is our specialist, our penalty taker every time. And you know that the game is going towards penalty. One will expect that he will bring on Trust Ekong, because I believe that Adibin will score that first penalty. There's kind of morale booster, because Kevin Bassey, when they just, in fact, the way he even blew the thing away, that's in fact, that's the height of it. If Trust Ekong came on, took that penalty first, and give us some kind of relief, I think it would have gone the other way. I just want to get your thought. Do you think that's what Eric Chen would have done? Bringing maybe the last seconds or last minute, bringing on Trust Ekong so that he could be able to start, since he's our number 1 penalty taker, because you know that it's Trust Ekong that takes penalty for the Super Eagles. Walter, please, let me hear from you. Then overall, you will now help me to assess Eric Chell. Do you think Eric Chell, if you want to score Eric Chell, do you think Eric Chell has done well, provided they lost yesterday?
To be honest with you, that is the decision to bring Awas here in the 115 minutes. I think it's a sackable offense. Yes, it's a decision that can make you lose your job. Because if I was the NFF president, for that single decision, I would be thinking about sacking the manager this morning. To be honest with you, I think it was that terrible decision. I don't understand it. You have Trust Ekong, who is obviously your best penalty taker.
I'm tired of AI tools giving me fake.
Who's obviously a leader in the team. Who is obviously someone that, we've seen countless times that you can rely on penalties. And you're looking at your squad, your regular penalty takers are not there. There is no Victor Osimhen. There is no Alex Iwobi. There is no Ademola Lookman. There is no Sam Ochukwueze. 4 players whom I believe would have been on the top 5 penalty sheet if they were on the pitch. And you are making a decision in the 115 minutes, which means just 5 minutes left to play. Then you are bringing in a Chidozie Awasiem, whom is not going to take your first 6 penalties. Make it make sense. I don't understand. Trust Ekong got come in that yesterday, the 150 minutes. Ekong takes the first penalty. You know what Ekong does? Ekong scores the first penalty, and that relieves his teammates of pressure. Now, what did Nigeria go on to do? You brought in Awasiem, who's obviously not going to take any penalty. The Nigeria first penalty, Bassey step up and miss. Nigeria's second penalty, Moses Simon step up and miss. So now we've missed our first 2 penalties, which automatically sets the tone for disaster, which automatically set the tone for failure. And nobody tried, they rescued us, but it was enough. We've missed our penalties. So I don't understand that decision by Eric Chell to bring in Awasiem instead of what's called now Trust Ekong. I think it's because it's defend you want to defend. Obviously, that's why you are taking a striker off to bring in a defender. So why not bring in Ekong, who will give you the added advantage of penalty kicks? So I think it was terrible on his part, and to be honest with you, it's a sackable offense. Now to your other question, which is the wide assessment, my general assessment of Eric Chell. To be honest with you, the only reason why I won't say we should sack him, there are two reasons. Two reasons why I would say Nigeria should sack Eric Chell. Reason number one is the AFCON is next month. I think a month's time. Today is on the 18th. The AFCON is starting on the 13th or 14th of December. So we have less than a month's time to the AFCON. So sacking a manager now with just 3 weeks to the AFCON is a disaster already. It's a disaster to start with, and I think it's not necessary. So that's one reason, number one. Reason number two is because I trust the NFF to make a useless decision if they sack Eric Chell. Yes. Have to bring in someone worst, because they obviously, what if we are to get a good coach for Nigeria, the NFF obviously cannot do that. They cannot bring in a coach that will make us play good football. Definitely not. So whoever they are going to bring in, if they have sacked a return today, what they will do, they will say Guafon should come.
Yes, you try and take interim. Yeah.
Yeah, on the interim basis. Then after that, they'll start. So to be honest with you, I think let's just leave him. Let's take us to the AFCON. Then after the AFCON, we'll decide whether to sack him or to leave him.
Okay, good one, Walter. Okay, let me go to you, Eru. Eru, you saw what the coach of DR Congo did. When I think some minute ago, he brought out the goalkeeper. He substituted the goalkeeper, which means that the second choice goalkeeper is a good penalty saver, right? So if the DR Congo coach could do that, I was thinking that Eric Chell could also be smart enough to know that since this is heading towards penalty, why don't I use my penalty, the best, the player that I know that have the best chance of scoring penalties. I don't know. Let me get your take on that too, so that we can wrap up.
Mr. Walter rightly said, it's a sackable offense, to be sincere. Although I don't want him to be sacked, because I don't think he has any credible or logical explanation as to that decision. Now, you see, when you are preparing for knockout games, I once coached a team. Tom is aware. When you are preparing for knockout games, you prepare for penalties. I'm telling you the truth. You dedicate a particular day to training for penalties. In the World Cup, in 2014 World Cup, Netherlands under Louis van Gaal, whenever they get a game to extra time, I think at the 118th or 119th minute, he will always take out the goalkeeper and bring in Tim Krul, because Tim Krul is penalty specialist. And guess what? All the times he did it, from the round of 16 when they got knocked out of that competition, all the times he did, it worked for him. He won those games that went to penalties. He won them. Now, like Walter said, you are already on the 115th minute. It is almost certain that you are not going to win this game. It is going to penalties. Number two, you want to even make a defensive substitution. You want to bring in a defensive player and take out an attacker. You have your captain, the leader, and the best penalty taker of the team on the bench. You are bringing in an Awaziem that I'm not sure he has ever kicked a penalty in his life. Was never going to take a penalty in the first 5 rounds. To come and do what exactly? So it was a very wrong decision from the coach. It was a very unreasonable decision from the coach, because I believe, like Walter said, if Ekong had stepped in, Ekong would have taken the first penalty, and his chances of scoring are 90 to 95%. I have not watched Ekong miss a penalty. So it was a wrong decision from the coach. It was an unreasonable one, and it didn't make sense. You saw what the DR Congo coach did. He removed the goalkeeper. He brought a penalty specialist. He did not pay off. He paid off. They won the game. So that was a very tactical and wise decision from the DR Congo coach. You know your players better than anybody else. You know their strengths and weaknesses. We have seen situations where games are on extra time. You see a coach take out one of his best players. He will bring in a player that me and you, we don't even know. And you begin to ask yourself, what's the reason? Watch that game going to penalties and see the guy kick the penalty into the goal. And then you now begin to see, oh, this is why the coach brought in this person. He's very good at taking penalties. It gives you added advantages. I have watched games where teams intentionally drag the game to penalties because they know that if it gets to that level, they have, although penalty is a 50-50 game, they have a certain level of assurance that they are going to win if it gets to that point. Maybe because of the kind of penalty take as they have, or because of the kind of goalkeeper they have. I already knew that Stanley Nwabali was going to do so well. When Argentina won the World Cup in that final, when the game got to penalties, I told somebody that Argentina is going to win. I said, not because of the players Argentina have, but because of the goalkeeper. I am very certain that Martinez is going to catch 2 or 3 penalties, no matter who plays it. And it happened. He saved 2. So the coach made the wrong decision, and I think he should go back to the drawing board. Going into AFCON, the decisions like that should not be taken anyhow. Should not be taken lightly. Yeah, so that's what I think.
Okay, Walter, in 10 seconds, please, your final word. What is the way forward? In 10 seconds, what should we do? Super Eagles fans like me. Do you think, because I know we have to be seeking advice from you because you are used to this kind of heartbreak. What should we do in 10 seconds?
What we do is very simple. You know, now it's obvious that it's not just the Super Eagles. The Nigerian football space, the Nigerian football system is rotten, and I think we need total overhaul of the team. That's starting with the under 17, the under 20. And the Chan Eagles, the national team, because we are in a bad state right now. We are in a very, very bad state. People might not realize how bad where we are right now is, but I tell you for a fact, we are in a bad space, and I think we need to now focus more attention on our football because we have lost it. We are no longer the giant of Africa in terms of football. We are just a terrible side filled with overhyped players that are not good enough to play for Nigeria.
Okay, Eru, in 10 seconds, please, your final word.
Going into AFCON, because AFCON is just a month away from now, I want to believe that anybody from the NFF or the Super Eagles camp can hear this, or we eventually get to hear this interview. There should be a proper selection of players. There are some people that should not come back to that team. If I were to be the coach, I will not take Alex Iwobi to AFCON. I don't have any vendetta against him. I will not take him to AFCON. I will not take the likes of Moses Simon to AFCON. If Ademola Lookman does not perform better between now and that time for a club side, he should not be selected. If you have home-based players who are hungry, who are passionate, get them into the system and watch them do wonders. Watch them want to prove a point. It is better than hiring or bringing in the so-called decorated players, so-called players who do so well, and then they come to the Super Eagles, are acting too big. They can't do anything. Basically, they are just there. You are there because you are JJ Okocha's nephew. It doesn't make any sense. Going into AFCON, if we cannot get international-based players that can do well, that will be ready to play for the badge, to play for the flag, let us get home-based players to play this competition. A few of them, add them to the already existing players who are willing and ready. And then you see us become a better side. It is better than saying, oh, our starting level are filled with players that play all over Europe, and then we cannot score a goal. And then secondly and lastly, very quickly, Eric Chels needs to concentrate on the midfield. We do not have any creative midfielder in that team. I tell you for a fact. We do not have any player who can connect the midfield, who can connect the attack and the defense. And it will be a very big problem going into AFCON. We do not have a creative midfielder. Alex Iwobi is obviously not part of it. I don't rate him as far as Super Eagles is concerned. So Eric Chels, I don't know how he's going to do that. He needs to scout for a very good midfield option that he can pick from. We have so many defensive midfielders, but there's no attacking midfielder. So I think a better selection of players needs to be done going into AFCON. Yeah.
All right, and that's where we wrap up today's edition of the P&B Sports Show. A disappointing night for the Super Eagles, but also a moment for reflection, restructuring, and renewed focus as Nigerian football charts its next step. A special thank you to analyst Walter Odige from the Center of Excellence, Lagos, and Eru John from the ancient city of Benin for their insightful contribution. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you can connect with us on all social media platforms, on YouTube and Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on IG at PNBTV_English, on X at PNBTV_ENG. I'm Abel Sunday. From me and the entire team in Abuja, I say goodbye.